Welcome to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. Grab your favorite mug, sit back, and enjoy. Now here's your host, Caryn Fitzgerald.
Welcome to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. I am your host, Caryn Fitzgerald, and today I am talking with Lisa Crilley Mallis, owner of System Savvy Consulting and a time strategy visionary. And she believes you can live a life where every day is productive, rewarding, and fun. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Caryn.
I am super excited because I know what you're going to talk about today, and I know people listening are going to love this. So let's jump right in. What is a time strategy visionary?
When I decided what I was going to call myself, because consultant seems kind of general, I thought, all right, what is it that I do and what is it that my clients get and what really encompasses the whole thing? And what I realized was it's time strategy visionary because it's all about the vision first. What are your goals? Where do you want to be today in 5 months and 5 years and 50 years? And then what are the strategies to help you get from where you are now to where it is that you want to be, and basing those strategies in the arena of time management. So how can you become more effective and efficient each and every day to help you get to be where it is you want to be, that big end goal? And so to me, that time strategy visionary encompasses that whole thing better than coach or consultant.
I love that. I love the term time strategy visionary because it puts together the three key points. One, we need time. Everything takes time. The strategy involved, and of course the vision. So how did you become a time strategy visionary? I'm loving that word. I'm loving that little sentence.
I'm glad. Oh, I'm so glad because it means a lot to me also. So I'm so glad it resonated with you. How did I become a time strategy visionary? I started actually in high school education. So I was a teacher, and then I was an athletic director and a coach. And it was a journey to get to where I am now. It encompasses about, oh goodness, almost 20 years now. And so I was very, very strong in basic time management skills. I was working upwards of 70 hours a week in administration in the high school level. I was also going back and getting my master's, and I was also leading a team of dynamic women in the direct sales industry. And so I could schedule like the best of them. I could lay that list out and cross things off like crazy, and I was getting somewhere fast. The challenge was I had no idea where it was I was going, but boy, was I fast in getting there. And so I believed that that idea of if you say yes to one thing, you say no to something else. I felt like that only applied to people who weren't very good with their schedule and their calendar. Because I could, if I said yes to something that happened to be at 7 o'clock on Tuesday and something else came up at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, I would just reschedule. And so I never really got that idea of if you say yes to one thing, you say no to something else until I became ill. And what I started to realize then was I was saying yes to my job and yes to my direct sales income and yes to grad school and yes to all these outside forces, but I was saying no to self-care and no to figuring out where in the world it was I wanted to be in the first place. And basically no to me and no to my family, but yes to everything else. And so because of that realization that happened, I was ill. I had to take some time off, and those types of, that idea started to really click in for me, that you can't be all things to all people, and you need to figure out what it is you want to be for yourself first. However, it didn't quite click in for me immediately. It took another round of going back at the same job, approaching it the same way, and expecting different results, and not getting them before I started to realize, hey, wait a minute, let's step back, take a look at what's going on, and figure out what are the areas that you're strong in and what type of support do you need around you to make sure that you don't fall back into that same pattern yet again a third time. And what is it that you have to offer? A coach of mine used to say to me, what's your brilliance? And it's like, okay, what's my brilliance and what's my passion? And how can I help other people who are just like I am, Caryn, because they're all out there. You go every day. You're doing so much. And you're 5 years later looking back thinking, wait a minute, where am I? I haven't gotten any closer to my goals. And so through a pretty substantial period of time, that all those ideas started to take hold for me. And I realized that I was really strong in time management. However, there's more to it than just that. There's that vision of where is it that you want to be, and that I could meld my experience as a teacher and as an administrator, and then get certified as a coach and put all of that together to help people, and not just say do what I say, not what I do, but be able to say do what I say and what I do, because I promise it's a better way to live.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest things that I hear you sharing there is you had to choose to lead yourself first.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
once you made that decision, people just, it all falls into place. And that's a big thing. That's personal responsibility. And not all of us accept that. We all want to blame everybody, everything, all the outside influences, and it really does come down to taking care of ourselves first and foremost. Just like they say on the airplane, put the mask on yourself before you help the little kid next to you.
Right.
So.
Right, because I could very easily have followed this path, Caryn, 5 more times. I mean, even twice. What is that? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know, I already hit the shame on me piece. You know, and I could have seen it happening over and over again. And you know, and I was able to catch it and say, wait a minute, you're going back to the same scenario. You're doing things the same way. This isn't gonna work. And what are you going to choose? Because you can choose to keep going at it, or you can choose to find a new path. And it's okay.
That's the big thing. It is okay. That's a big thing for everybody to make their choices and to change. Change is a big thing. I'm still here with this time strategy vision. That's just resonating with me extremely powerfully. And now that we're moving into a brand new year, I'd like for us to talk a bit about resolution or goal and how that all comes together. But we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about new goals for 2015. So we'll be right back with more Coffee and Coaching with Caryn in just a moment.
Stay tuned. Coffee and Coaching with Caryn will be back after these messages.
Need a little more happiness in your life? Here you go. The Happiness Recipe Podcast to the rescue. Listen each week as June Klein and Sandy Weaver Carmen share wit, wisdom, and wonderful food with their guests. Guaranteed to add happiness to your life. happinessrecipe.net.
Yo, attention authors, share your work on Coffee and Book Chat. Book reviews, author interviews, blog posts all about you and your book. Visit coffeeandcoachingradio.com for details today.
Are you looking for quality entertainment and activities for the entire family? Then come on down to the Plaza Theater Company and Plaza Academy Dance Studio, located in Cleburne, Texas. The Plaza Theater Company is an award-winning community theater that presents 10 productions a year, performing every single weekend. If you have a child that enjoys acting, dancing, or singing, then you can enroll them in the Plaza Academy Dance Studio. For more information, visit plaza-theater.com or call 817-202-0600.
Welcome to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. Grab your favorite mug, sit back, and enjoy. Now here's your host, Caryn Fitzgerald.
We are back with Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. I am your host, Caryn Fitzgerald, and today my guest is Lisa Crilley Mallis, owner of System Savvy Consulting and a time strategy visionary. And Lisa, before the break, we were talking about time strategy and knowing the vision, having the vision, and everything that goes along with this, and how you took care of yourself. You finally realized it was time to take care of you so that now you're able to help so many others do the same. We are here. This is 2015. New year. We all know what happens. Everybody says I'm going to set resolutions. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between a resolution and a goal. And what do we do right now? How do we set some new goals for 2015?
My advice for clients is always to think about not just what is it you want to accomplish or what do you want to do, but also who do you want to be? And I think when we talk about resolutions and goals, I think that's a piece of that is, who is it that you want to be? And so as you start to think through that, because that puts it on a bigger space. It's one thing to say, I want to be healthy or lose weight or increase my income, but it's also, who do you want to be during that process? Self-reliant, professional businesswoman, whatever that piece may be. And then start to break it down more into, all right, now what are those next pieces? What are your resolutions or your goals? Whatever fits for you. For some of my clients, we call them dreams. It's whatever speaks to you. What is the specific thing that you want to accomplish next? Once you look at who do you want to be, then it's, okay, now what are those measurables? I always think it's important to have some sort of a deadline. have something that you can measure, however that may be, and then start to lay those out. And the sky's the limit. Write down 10, 20, 30, 50, whatever. Get them all out so that you're aware of them. Then start to pick through, okay, now which ones can I reasonably accomplish? Because there's only 168 hours in a week. But think about who you want to be. Then what are those goals that are going to help with that? Who you want to be and how you want to address the world. And then start to figure out, okay, in 168 hours, what can I reasonably expect to accomplish?
Okay, you just said it. There's only 168 hours in the week. So I will now say one of the things that we hear people say all the time. Lisa, I don't have enough time. We've got 168 hours. Is there a formula for breaking down the week, those 168 hours, to make it a little more, taking it bite by bite instead of trying to eat a whole elephant?
Yes, because I think it's important to make decisions based on data. So when you say you don't have enough time, do you really not have enough time, or are you just not utilizing it in the best possible way? One of my clients said to me a couple of weeks ago, oh my goodness, one of the things I've realized is I really can't get everything done. Now that I've looked at it and estimated how long everything takes, it's clear to me I really can't accomplish everything on my to-do list. It isn't that I thought I couldn't, I really can't. And so I think it's important to know realistically how much time do you have. And so what I like to do is call it like a count to zero. Start at 168 hours and then start to take away your hours. How many hours are you sleeping? How many hours are you traveling to work if you work on an off-site location? How many hours are you working? How many hours are you spending with family? How many hours do you want to spend in volunteer activities or church activities or whatever the things that are important to you, whatever your values are and where you want to allocate your time? Because it is about you choosing where to allocate your time. And then when you start to get towards the end and you're working through all those choices, you'll have hours left over, your discretionary time. And that's when you start to choose, okay, I have 4 hours a week left over. I want to spend it accomplishing goal A and goal B, or just goal A. Or wait a minute, I've allocated my time and I'm negative 40 hours this week. Something's got to change. But it allows you to handle it proactively because you're in that position now where you can make a choice. You are telling your time what you want to do with it versus getting to the end of the week saying, oh my gosh, where'd the time go? But you have to do that from a position of knowing your data, knowing how much time you really do have available.
One of my favorite activities to do with my clients is have them take a stopwatch. And if they're talking about their business, a lot of my clients are independent entrepreneurs. I would say to them, okay, so every time you're doing something related to your business, click the watch. And at the end of the week, let me see how many hours you've actually invested in your business. And it's more for them than me, obviously. But that accountability thing always makes people giggle, and they tend to do more for somebody else at times. And what I find really interesting is a lot of people feel that they're spending so much time doing specific tasks, whether it's business related or family related or exercise, whatever it is. And if they clock that down, at the end of the day or the end of the week, they find that they're spending more time with distractions than they are focused on what their goal is. So do you have any guidance or suggestions for people who are finding themselves easily distracted by things like, oh, I don't know, social media?
I was going to say, is Facebook coming out? Social media?
We'll just go with social media.
Social media in general. Yes, absolutely. Because one of the things I tell my clients also is thinking about working is not the same as working. And so let's fall back into the data.
Oh, I think you just burst a whole bunch of bubbles out there.
I know,
thinking about
working.
Working.
I'm exhausted. I've worked all day. Really, what have you done? Well, really? Because all you did was thought about all the things you needed to do. So when it comes to, but again, it comes down to that data. It's so easy to fool yourself, but numbers don't lie. And when you can look at it in black and white, you're like, oh, yeah. So I really worked at my business 1.3 hours this week. Guess that's not as much as I thought. So when it comes to distractions, though, what I like to do is I use the acronym AWE, A-W-E, awareness, work, and evaluation. And so that awareness piece is identifying where's that distraction coming from. And so let's use social media as an example. You realize that when you sit down at the computer, you start to look up information about the next person that you're going to chat with on a get to know you networking type of a chat. But while you're on there, you think, well, I want to check really quick and see who's interacted with me on Twitter because it's important to interact back. Otherwise, why are you bothering to engage in the platform at all? And so you get there, and then from there, you're like, oh, maybe I better check it. And then away you go down that rabbit hole. And so you're aware that social media causes a distraction past its initial use. Its initial use, check who's interacted with you on social media, is that's a 5-minute task, tops. See who it is, interact back, move on, and engage. But that can turn into a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. And so you become aware. That's the A piece, awareness. Then it comes into the W piece, the work piece. What are the strategies we're going to use to move through social media? And you move through that distraction. And so one of the strategies that I love is to set a timer. Like you mentioned earlier, set a timer how long you're working. Set a timer, but I use it on the count backwards. So say, okay, I'm going to spend 10 minutes in social media, or I'm going to spend 20 minutes or a half hour, whatever it is you determine is the amount of time. And so you set the timer, and I say use a loud, annoying, horrible sounding timer and set it across the room. Because then that forces you to get up to turn it off. So it's not like you can keep hitting the snooze. 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, an hour and a half later, you're still on social media. So I love to set a timer across the room that's really annoying and then go turn it off. That really makes you choose then, am I going to stay doing this task or am I going to move away from it? And then the E piece is evaluation. At the end of the day or the end of the week, allocate 10 minutes to evaluate what's working and what can I do even better next time when it comes to this area of distraction of social media. So when it comes there, I like to use awareness, work, and evaluation.
I love awe. I'm loving this. All the different words are resonating with me very strongly, and I hope that my listeners are receiving the same message through what you're sharing. We're going to take a super short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about 30 days to success. So we'll be right back with more Coffee and Coaching with Caryn in just a moment.
Stay tuned. Coffee and Coaching with Caryn will be back after these messages.
Hey Lily, do you have lines, wrinkles, or low energy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, change it all now. Look and feel younger from the comfort of your own home today.
How?
Visit 10yearsyoungernow.com for your free personal consultation.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Looking to monetize your passions? Ready to get paid for doing what you love? Contact Caryn at coffeeandcoachingradio@gmail.com and get creative strategies for developing income while doing what you love.
Dreaming of turning your book into an audiobook? Make it happen. More and more people are discovering the joy of audiobooks. They should be discovering you. Our professional personal service gives you just the audio product you've dreamed of. Check us out, voiceworkondemand.com.
Welcome to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. Grab your favorite mug, sit back, and enjoy. Now here's your host, Caryn Fitzgerald.
We are back with Coffee and Coaching with Caryn, and I am your host, Caryn Fitzgerald. Today, my guest is Lisa Crilley Mallis, owner of System Savvy Consulting and a time strategy visionary. And if you missed any of this interview, please go back, do yourself that favor, and give yourself the gift of going back and listening to the beginning part. And Lisa, we were talking about awe prior to the break. And you have something called an awe-inspired journal. So tell me more about 30 Days to Success, an awe-inspired journal, and how this might help our listeners.
Absolutely. I would love to. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever created. And the journal goes actually along with the 30-day challenge. And often people will ask me, is there significance behind 30 days? And my answer is no. It's just seemed like a great number because it's a month. And usually a month is a good amount of time to start to build some sort of a habit. So the purpose behind the 30-day awe-inspired challenge and the journal is that you can get steam behind either changing a habit or accomplishing a goal or finishing a project. And each day out of the 30 days, you're able to work through the phases of awe: awareness, work, and evaluation. So if we tie this back to the idea of choosing goals or resolutions or dreams for the new year, it's okay. The first couple days of the journal focus on what are your goals. Where is it that you want to focus? What's one thing that you want to make sure that you put diligent, focused attention on every day for 30 days, whether it's completing a project or building a habit. Then as you move forward, we look at some work strategies, like the one we talked about with distractions and social media. Also, other strategies such as the parking lot to deal with distractions. We also then work in evaluation weekly. What were the areas that are working? What are the ones that you're struggling at? So the nice thing about the journal is it gives you a place to capture all those ideas and thoughts, and it gives you a place to celebrate, because there's so much to be learned from the journey. It's not all about the destination. There's much to be celebrated in the journey. And so the journal allows you to keep track every day of what you're doing, so you're not chasing those papers all over your desk in your office and in your purse and in your car. But there's one place to keep all that together. Plus, you also have the bonus of videos and emails every day with action steps to help with that accountability. You get that email and you're like, oh, I have to make sure that I schedule in time today to work towards my goal. And so the two work hand in hand, but you go through awareness, work, and evaluation over a 30-day period, over and over again, until it becomes habit and it becomes your focus.
So tell us a little bit more in terms of awareness, work, evaluation. What are some of the different things that your clients have used the journal successfully in creating? Are there
Goodness.
So success stories you can share with us?
Oh, there are. There absolutely are. So one, as we were talking earlier about take care of yourself first, one of the participants in the challenge decided to use the 30 days to create time in the afternoon just for her to have a cup of tea. And for some people listening to this call right now, they're going to think, oh my gosh, that's so easy. And for other people, they're like, really? She created time just for her in the afternoon? And she did. And it took, I would say, until we got to the probably close to the 30th day before she felt very consistent with it. No matter what was happening around her, she was choosing to take that 15 minutes or a half hour in the afternoon just for her to have tea and relax. And she did it before the kids came home from school. But even if they were home on the weekend, she still was able to carve out that time for herself. So that's one area on building a habit. Another client used the time to completely redo her website. All the copy on the website, all the pictures, what her message was, her marketing, and she just chunked away at it. Like you said earlier, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. She chunked away one piece after piece after piece on her marketing plan. Another one of a dear friend of mine and a client and also participant in the challenge wanted to surpass her sales goal. She'd been doing her occupation for, I'm going to say almost 20 years, and she wanted to surpass her best year ever. And she did, and she just won a huge award for having the best sales in Northeast United States, and it's a nationwide company. So people choose it for all different types, different things, habits, projects, big goals. And it's so encouraging and exciting to be able to be a part of and listen to the process and the progress and all the celebration that happens.
Huge congratulations to all of them for achieving their goals. And that's so key, to celebrate the wins along the way. And 30 days really isn't that long. I mean, if you stop and think about it, it seems like, okay, 30 days seems like a long period of time, but the reality is it goes by in the blink of an eye.
Right.
It's
right.
super, super quick. Okay, so Lisa, what would be the one key piece of advice that you would share with our listeners today?
Take action. Absolutely always. The key to advice for me is take action. So listening to you and I chat, that's awesome. That's great. However, if it ends there, it was just an awesome and great way to spend 30 minutes. But it can be so much more. So take action. So, for example, if the idea of having a blueprint for how to move forward in creating diligent action for yourself is important, then take action. For your listeners, I offer a bonus, and so they can go to challenge.com and join the challenge, invest in the workbook and journal, and then in the comment section write "I love Caryn," spelled correctly, Caryn, and they receive an extra bonus 30-minute strategy session with me, to where we can bust through obstacles. If they still find distractions are a challenge, we can create some additional strategies that will work for them. Or if they're struggling on creating the right or figuring out their goal, we can work on that. Or if they get to the end of the challenge and they realize that, oh goodness, they're not feeling secure yet. They still need a little extra. We can talk about what are some structures that help them move forward. And so it's take action. If the 30-day challenge seems like something that would support them in achieving their goals, go to challenge.com. Put in "I love Caryn" in the comment section. That way you receive extra bonus special time just for you. If the idea of working with Caryn with the stopwatch idea, and I love your idea of the stopwatch. How much time are you really spending on your business? If that resonates with you, do it. When you get off the call, do it. But do something. Don't just listen to us chat. Do something.
I love that. And, I'm so excited because I want to hear who loves Caryn.
Yeah, I know. And it only counts if you spell it right.
That is so cool. Thank you so much for that gift. I will thank you on behalf of everybody. That is a very, very amazing gift. So thank you. Is there anything that you'd like to share that we didn't touch on today?
Goodness. I'm going to say take action is always my big one. As long as you can take action, then the world really is at your fingertips. You just have to take that next step forward. Set your goal, create an action step, and just keep moving one more.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Lisa, what's the best way for people to connect with you directly?
Through my website. There's a Connect with Lisa tab on my website, and so it's systemsavvyconsulting.com. So it's system, S-Y-S-T-E-M, savvy, S-A-V-V-Y, consulting.com. And from there, you can shoot me an email, you can call me, you can write me a letter through snail mail if you want, or connect with me on Facebook or Twitter or what, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of social media things up there. Whatever is your best way of communicating is the way that I would like to respond. And I love it when I have the opportunity to chat with someone as awesome as you, Caryn, and people listen and then they ask me questions and they connect because it is just the best thing ever. So please engage with me.
I am so excited because I know you're going to get a lot of phone calls and hopefully some snail mail too.
I would love to get snail mail.
I love snail mail. That's my favorite. Okay, so Lisa, we've done the coaching part, and this is coffee and coaching. So let's talk coffee. Coffee, cocoa, tea, what's your favorite?
I am actually a tea drinker, Caryn. Love tea. And my favorite is hibiscus tea. All sorts of flavors of hibiscus tea is my absolute favorite.
Yummy, yummy. I'm learning about all kinds of different teas. I'm a coffee drinker, and I'm learning all these different teas, so I'm really excited because I'm going to go out and try them now that it's getting colder.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been talking with Lisa Crilley Mallis, the owner of System Savvy Consulting. Thank you, Lisa, for joining me today.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all the listeners, everyone, for listening to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend.
You've been listening to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next time for more Coffee and Coaching with Caryn.
Until then, visit us at coffeeandcoachingradio.com.
Caryn Fitzgerald is an author, speaker, business strategist, and leadership coach. Connect with her at coffeeandcoachingradio.com.